Groups continuing then. It is Group B for our very first day of the Intel Extreme Masters Oakland 2017. Group B is the one that a lot of people had down to be the big one. A lot of the biggest names in Counter-Strike all in one beautiful little pain circle. Can we hear you, Yanko? Are you with us?
Hello.
Okay, no, that doesn't seem like we
That's
can.
okay, because I haven't been on the desk for a while.
Yeah, so Chat's
I've missed
back.
out on
Yay,
talking,
Chat
and I want to
virtual.
make it all about me.
Okay, yeah, Yanko is here, I promise.
He's going to make little quips, and we're not even going to get them, so that's fantastic.
Maybe the stream can hear it, so do be careful. Just
don't get fired.
Yeah.
We'll let him talk.
Yeah.
But then if it seems like it's an awkward silence, we'll cut him off.
Okay, that's a good plan. Good plan.
So we're doing the Liquid Gambit game, right?
That's right. Liquid Gambit and Liquid are fresh off of a victory versus your boys.
Mate, that was not a game that I liked watching. Me and Gomez, the manager, we're sitting backstage. We're watching the game unfold.
We can hear you, by the way, Yanko, on stream.
Oh, nice.
So we just can't be a part of his conversation. He has to monologue only.
Okay. Yeah. You still had 26 frags in the first half.
Yeah.
In the first half, he had 26 kills.
And how many have in the second?
I think it was like 3 or 5 or something.
Oh, bloody
it's not that it's not his bad. He did a great job in the first half, but Liquid came back. I like this meme.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's
I
a
like
dank
it. I like it.
But yes, so the Liquid are fresh off of a blockbuster. You've just gone into overtime. You finally overcome what was a very scary Renegades.
Get the W.
And they get the W. But this is where you have to kind of... I'm almost... Like, usually I have a good understanding of where this one's going to go, like who the favorite is, who isn't. But Yanko, it's time for you to monologue. Is there a clear favorite in this matchup, do you believe? Gambit versus Liquid?
I think you need to favor Gambit in this one. I believe, Liquid, yes, they made the comeback against Renegades, but they just brought in a new player. And Gambit, I'm not really sure. We didn't watch, obviously, the game. We're difficult to know how they managed to lose after being 5-0 up 16-7, whether they got complacent, as Jordan pointed out. I think on paper they're the better team at the moment. Okay,
so the better team on paper, despite what was a bit of a kind of a blip on the radar in their previous best of one, Chad. I mean, is that fair to say? I mean, it feels weird that we're just dismissing what was quite a convincing loss.
I think, Mixwell had a really good game. It was weird. I was watching Optic from the sidelines as that match was happening, and their communication just seemed very... I guess lackluster.
Yeah, I was going to say, be honest.
They were hardly talking. Like
Optic.
Yeah, which was they were winning. Maybe they didn't need to talk a lot. But anyway, I think I agree that Gambit on paper should be the better team, especially with the addition of Steel right now. However, Elige and Twists have they have the ability to carry a game. Those two players can completely run away with it. And for Steel to be able to be a supportive player, we just saw them, they played Cache, right? We know that they're going to probably be going for a middle ground map again because he wouldn't have had a lot of time to bring Steel into the team to show him the strategies and stuff. So that's kind of the direction it's going to be going, and that's where it does come down to the individuals, right? And that's where they can get away with, having just Twist or Elige or both of them together just carry a victory here. And
Steel, of course, Steel feels weird to say. Not filling in is part of Team Liquid.
He's got the jersey and everything.
Is wearing a Team Liquid jersey. It looks completely baffling to people that aren't familiar. But Yanko, why don't you jump in and start kind of joining Chad with this map discussion? I mean, we're going to bring up those vetoes and we can kind of see where that middle ground is, where they're trying to find a tame map for the new roster.
Well, it was interesting that they played Cache because that was one of the two vetoes for Liquid during their tenure, Cache and Overpass. So whether that's something that just because they brought in Steel and it's a map that you can relatively easily pug on, so that was their choice maybe, but we will see the direction they decide to take it versus Gambit.
Okay.
I was thinking or talking to Gomez about another reason why they may have picked it. It's because like you look at tendencies of the Renegades guys, Azza always plays forklift. They like to get you still up on the boost. JKS is the... So if they looked at the demo and they went, hey, we have lost to them on these maps recently, maybe we'll try and just exploit tendencies and play a free-flowing style of CS, which is a good and a bad thing, especially with the standard. It allows you to evolve throughout the game and just make adjustments. You don't really have your own style, which is a good way to approach it, I suppose, when you just get in the feel for the team. Yeah, no, absolutely. Still getting the feel for it. We're going to get a feel for the maps now. The veto is ready. We'll run through that. We can just go for like a speed. So let's have a little look. Liquid took away Nuke. Gambit responded in kind with Inferno and Cache, so we won't be seeing that again this time for the Liquid roster. And then Overpass is taken away, so not 3 Overpass games back-to-back. FaZe like that one, but Liquid do not. Train taken away, so it was actually Gambit's choice between Cobble and Mirage. I'm hearing a Chad. What are you about? I'm surprised they wouldn't go for Cobble. It seemed like an easier map to punish, a team who has a new player.
Fair.
The executes aren't really going to be there to the same level. But then when you look at Mirage, that's a map where I know Liquid have had a bit of success on recently. They're going to be happy with that map, I think.
Okay, so I mean, there must be a thought process for Gambit.
Yeah, I think both Cobble and Mirage are very strong maps for Liquid, but they're also strong maps for Gambit, right? I think historically Cobble has been better for them. They had that undefeated streak with Zeus and so forth, but for whatever reason, they seem to be shying away from both that and Overpass. That was another map they were very strong on. Right now, it seems like Train is their go-to map, but you know, in this particular veto, they go for Mirage, which is, again, good for Liquid if they can get into the groove of things and their communication is on point. They had a very good way of, you know, retaking mid-control as CT and just being very proactive as a team, dynamic and aggressive on the CT side, which is something that you need to be in order to be successful.
Okay, I mean, very interested to see how Steel slots into this roster. As players yourselves, and you now just, like, if you were sitting at home and watching this game and you've just seen, you know, standouts, Steel in, what would be something you're looking out for? What's, like, you know, indicators that Steel's comfortable, or what were you looking to see from a roster with a brand new player, brand new jersey, very little time to prepare?
Like he joined 12 hours ago.
Yeah. I think, you know, the hardest thing coming into a roster and having to play a tournament of this scale in this kind of environment is learning like the simple things like the spot names or like how they communicate, that kind of stuff. And that's probably the hardest thing to get your head around quickly.
Yeah.
To tell if he's comfortable, it's just going to be if he's putting up frags, right? You know, if he's finding himself in limbo or double guessing and making poor decisions, that's when it seems like he's going to be feeling uncomfortable, obviously.
Yeah, well, we'll have to keep our eye on the scoreboard then. Steel, it's simply a numbers game for him as he's going to try and find some comfort on the new roster. Sounds like the game's ready. Back over to your casters. They're happy as Larry. It's Moses and Harry.
Yes, thank you, Alex and Yanko and Chad. Gambit versus Team Liquid, the esports Rookie of the Year in Hobbit, going off against this this new Team Liquid lineup with everyone's favorite happy Brazilian and Steel.
Yeah, you know, I for one am very excited to see how he performs inside of this team, joining, I'd say, as recent as it gets, right, with anyone having to perform on a LAN environment.
It was a bit of a surprise, wasn't it, that news that comes out? Yeah, that kind of came out of left field, but, I mean, even so, he's going to have to kind of try and fit into this team, you know, just landing while running and just kind of go into it. Thankfully, you've got guys like Twist, guys like Elige, highly talented players who have done very, very well for this roster. Able to take some of the load off of his shoulders. Either way, Fitch, which is another player, another new addition to this Gambit team right after the major that everyone was surprised at Malmo how good he was. And look at this information that Adren has. Push all the way up towards top mid, and there's even a player coming through underpass as we... Oh, no, excuse me, that's Catwalk. Minimap throwing me for a loop, but it's a fake. And they hear all this information, and even so, they've rotated a player over towards B. There goes Adren. That's a huge kill. Hobbit now fighting for his life, and he's not able to keep it.
Yeah, Liquid going to come charging up in towards A. Mosen reeling back, and Steel, they're going to keep pushing into this. They're able to find Doja as well. It is just Fitch left, the latest addition to this Gambit roster. 1 versus 3. Deals with the man inside of the site. Goes for the frag over it short, but Elige going to be able to win that one out all day long. Liquid, they find the pistol, and that's the start that they wanted here on Mirage. As now they look to try and pick up these first couple of rounds.
Yeah, that was sick. No slowing down whatsoever from Liquid. I mean, that's a great kill to find right there on a Dren. Hobbit obviously stuck in the open, just having to take that battle, but controlling the window room, pushing in through jungle, staying as a group, no one trying to get to the bomb site until they knew it was secured. And that's kind of cool because that leaves them with a couple options. As you could see, if there's a player alive in CT spawn, they can just transfer over to Catwalk, they can go through Underpass, they can do whatever they want to get over towards the B-bomb site, and if they have all this success today, they can just go plant. So a pistol round that yields you a lot of different ideas that you can do based off your successes.
Well, Dren's here over towards short. Is able to take one, has that crossfire with Hobbit, and nets them 2 quick frags. Hobbit's going to be allowed to get the hell out of there, JDM.
This is actually tough, though, because JDM takes that fight and doesn't really progress the bomb. They've now been able to rotate into position, so there's still some danger at this B-bomb site. Fitch picked up an AK-47, but JDM doesn't let him utilize it whatsoever, and now it gets easier. Now it's just 2 scouts. Those guns cannot be wielded to retake, and Steel's just going to push right in towards Market, excuse me, Twist is, and that's going to be the round.
Yeah, I think I read earlier that it's Twist's birthday today.
Is it Twist or is it Steel? Twist. I think you're right. I think it is Twist.
Well, happy birthday to someone.
Yep.
There you go. As you know, they must be feeling good right now. Their birthday wish, of course, to have a good time with things at least in day 1.
Yeah, it's good to get off on a good foot, isn't it?
But JDM already taking a shot to the face. Doesn't want to keep peeking into that USP. It's Nitro instead. Trying to take aggression out through middle. Down he will go. And that nade going to slam dunk Hobbit into the next dimension. No unexpected journeys for him. As now Doja's left 1v5. Nitro going to be allowed to find 3 at the end. Nice bit of money farmed up. $1,800 for him. As Liquid do manage to go flawless. 3-0 on the back of that pistol.
And what a cool problem to have if you're Team Liquid is, how many of these SMGs do I upgrade? Do I upgrade the MAC-10? Do I upgrade the UMP? And I think they might actually stick with it, but you're right. This MAC-10 doing some work against the unarmored opponents, obviously, out of Nitro. That's always good to see. And they're going to keep both SMGs, so even the Galil is still in Steel's hands, and they're going to line up. No map control, no spreading out for Team Liquid. They're just going to go right into an A execute. Smoke's already being deployed, 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the round. Plenty of time here. Fitch is going to be blinded and forced back, trying to make something happen, but can't land the shots. It's Adren who gets the opening kill. No success on the initial hit for Team Liquid.
Bomb plant looks to go in, but right now it has been denied the utility, keeping them at bay as the nades rain through. Gambit stacked up. These smokes going to start to dissipate. Bomb plant denied by Hobbit, and now things get tricky for Liquid. They're going to be trying to get it down. They will be allowed to thanks to that smoke that goes down on the site.
It's all on Elige. Elige is doing the flank, the late push towards mid.
A lot of pressure on one man's shoulders. He has to step up. It's a 1 versus 5. He's in with 2 as he goes for the spray, lands the transfer. Aggression from Hobbit, though, renders the play useless as he goes down at the end. Defuse stuck by Fitch, and Gambit going to be quick to grab themselves their first round in the rifle round.
Yeah, Gambit manages that so very well when the execute comes in. Everyone just kind of falls back. You give it up. You look for that 1 kill as they get into the bomb site. You give yourself a man advantage. And all you have to do is, if you're going to play retake like that, it's just all about surviving. You don't want to get one player to get caught out. So that was huge from Gambit the first step. And then obviously Hobbit, the kill through the smoke that delayed the plant even longer, allowed his teammates to get into position. Comes at a critical point. Nade out, JDM eats it.
Oh, Adren tries the mid-aggression once again, but this time Elige is ready for it. Already man advantage taken here for Liquid. Despite the name, solid start to this round. They start their aggression in towards middle. Elige and Nitro will be allowed to make their way out. JDM, in the meantime, holds position over here at ramp, waits to see if any aggression comes out from Gambit. Any desperate act to try and claw back that man advantage.
Yeah, this is great. And actually, Gambit this is kind of a risky setup that they have. Doja and Mo both in the B bomb site. Both of them committed. That's a lot of ground to be covered on the other portions of the map by just Hobbit and Fitch. And at the moment, they can't really do it. It's going to be a couple players, 3 players to be exact for Team Liquid coming up connector. The smoke is just fading now. Hobbit, he's ready for it. He finds Twist with a nade in his hands. They've got to trade it, and they can't immediately, but Elige does eventually find him. Fitch needs to live. He needs to stay alive here. Keep a second avenue for this retake open for his teammates.
Smoke rains in, but the gap going to reveal all as he calls the information into the rest of the team. Doesn't spot anything. The bomb plant will go through.
This is going to be so tough. There's 2 Molotovs on the Team Liquid side of thing. They can delay this. They can throw it in choke points. They can throw it on the bomb. It's on JDM and it's on Steel. There's one to delay the retake. And actually, that might be forced for them to give it up. They need to go quick from here on out.
Yeah, time's really of the essence at this point. There is the man over in connector as well in the form of Elige, and that's going to further complicate things. The triple peak comes in, and Doja's left alone. 1 versus 2. No time left as it whittles away. He does go ahead and save up the AK, but that will be it for him. As Liquid going to go ahead and rebound straight back in with a 4th.
Smart post plan from Team Liquid, though. Getting into safe positions and JDM just waiting, and as soon as his teammates hear the footsteps, he throws a flash over the wall. Wasn't even that effective, but that was just the cue for everyone to peek from 3 different locations. JDM from A ramp, Steel from the mountain boxes, and then Elige from connector, and able to get those 2 quick kills that just seal it. And Gambit, this is tough. Small investment around the AK-47 on Doja. And there's a pick from Nitro with the AWP actually on the T side. Maybe he just got the spawn, but Fitch with the CZ pushes up mid. 2 very, very quick kills.
Twist doesn't want to get caught out, doesn't want to give away any more weapons the way of Gambit. Steel's here trying to face off against these ecoing players that are pushing his way. And he will start to charge back. Adren. That's pushed all the way down through ramp. Going to be holding the back of Palace while the rest of his team go pushing on in. And Steel back against the wall. Gonna fall to Fitch as he goes in with 3 frags now thanks to this CZ. Finally nets himself an upgrade onto the AK. Now Twisted Nitro. Man down, trying to take control of the middle, trying to make up for the amount of players they've lost early on.
Nitro hoping someone peeks from the A bomb site, trying to find the equalizer. They got to hurry this up, though. They don't realize it. They don't know it yet, but Adren is flanking the B bomb site. He's already in these halls. Hobbit's just playing a delay tactic, and he actually might just get both kills. Here's the peek. He gets one. He is traded off, but Adren is the unknown factor. Twist has a big job to do in this 1-on-2. Planning in the middle of the bomb site, and he's going to come right through the smoke.
Yeah, Adren's coming around from behind. Twist going to fall to Fitch as he takes a 4K in that round. Gambit. They didn't have much invested into it, but they're going to be able to get themselves a second.
I'd love to see those first 2 kills with the CZ that Fitch got. That was incredible. Like they just came out and like at range with the CZ. It just seemed so easy. I don't know if there was. I didn't notice if there was no head armor bought by the Team Liquid side of things, but they dropped quick. 4-2. Great recovery from Gambit. Here they are. Yeah, that's clinical. Headshot onto JDM. That was very, very fast. The follow-up, obviously, and that's at range as well. So great round from Fitch. I was saying I got cut off, but Fitch has been obviously a revelation for this team. His debut at DreamHack Masters in Malmo was unreal. The performance that he brought out of nowhere, a player that very few people had heard from. He's been great for this team so far, helping them not necessarily even miss a beat after Zeus left after the major victory.
Yeah, I mean, a team as well that a lot of people kind of wrote off after, ever since that departure, and they've stuck around. They've shown that they can long it out, and they're still a huge threat for a lot of these top teams. Now, Liquid looking to try and overcome that. Mo's been able to find the first. Here's Fitch, the man in question. This time only takes 1. Mo holds the angle close, but they don't want to go walking into him any longer as he chimes in with a second. Nitro and JDM left. Do force out the man with the Molotov, but the smoke saves him, allows the safe passage of Hobbit. Mo gonna take 3. There's no stopping him right now. And Nitro, 1 versus 4, not meant to be. Hobbit will finish things off. Gambit finally gonna go ahead and take 2 consecutively. That will be the reset to come in for Liquid, and now a chance for them to equalize things out.
Listen, there was a decent amount of criticism aimed at Mo early on in his career, and some of it pretty fair, to be honest. But, I mean, this is a guy who came into his own right around the major, and he's been great since. And if you don't put a smoke up in front of him, if you don't throw a flashbang into his face, he's going to be taking those kills easily all day long. He was loving that round. Into this one, it's only Glocks for the Team Liquid side. They have 1 flashbang. It better be a perfect flashbang if they want to get their way into this bomb site. Hobbit and Doja both here, both M4s against unarmored opponents. Here comes the nade, the Molotov combo. That nade is quite nice out of Twist. He's going to burn, and Doja now is going to have an easy time. They're just Glocks, so no real danger. The Molotov even cutting off the last 2 players of Liquid, and it's pretty much all over from here.
Yeah, it's going to require more than nerves of steel. He has to be a man of steel right now as he's a 1v5. And nearly gets Doja, but not quite. Finished off by Adren. Going to be 4-4, the equalizing round found by Gambit, but now the buy can come in for Liquid. Don't have enough there to get the AWP up. It will just be rifles across the board.
And you'd wonder what they're going to do now that they don't have this AWP, now that Mo has one pretty firmly in his hands. They got beat by it last time, and it looks like they don't really want to go immediately at it. They've been burned by some mid-aggression from Gambit, and this is just going to be, oh, this is going to be an uppercut. This is just going to be walk into the B bomb site. Some nades over the roof. You've only got Doja there. That smoke might push them into another idea, because that might mean that Doja's getting aggressive, and he was, but he's fallen back. And Team Liquid, at least their initial plan, falls to ruin. Mo's rotated over to be with the AWP as well.
Yeah, they're just waiting, hoping that if they don't push in long enough, Gambit might overextend, try peeking for some information. You know, waiting to see if a mistake is made. Baiting out utility as well. You can see very little left here for Gambit. Smoke, nade, and a flash. That's all that resides on the back of these guys. And Liquid now sending 2 players in through lower tunnel. It's going to be Nitro and Elige.
they've got to do something to relieve this pressure. There's 4 members defending this B bomb site. Elige is going to be on a flank. That's the one area they aren't watching at the moment. He could have a huge impact. There's going to be 1 kill on Mo. Now they have to move forward. He's trying to get another. That's distracting Doja. How effective can this hit be? Hobbit's here as well. He takes out Elige. 2 players stuck by bench, and they will eventually be traded. Doja's still alive somehow. Brilliance from Team Liquid, and Adren is the next obstacle, sneaking through the smoke.
And that's going to end it. He's able to find himself too. There's 1 man left. It's Twist, so actually brings it back from the brink, but Fitch swings in at the last second, picks that up, and Gambit going to be in with a 5th round. The double kill from Adren through the smoke on short not only goes unchecked, but it essentially wins that round back for them.
If you're Liquid, you're just never thinking there's going to be a 4th player there. You don't believe that whatsoever. So that's why Adren is able to make that play, because even though Liquid does a great job against overwhelming odds of trading into that 3-on-3, Adren is just like the one factor that you don't account for, because why would there be a 4th player at the B bomb site? Liquid didn't even realize how hard they'd been read by Gambit in that round.
And this time they're going to try chancing it over here in middle, rushing down through short the smoke. Does deny presence in window, spied out on short. Adren does find damage. Hobbit's raining death through the smoke. What's going on this round is an utter disaster. Nades shot through smoke. It's a slaughter over on short, and that will be a 6th for Gambit as Liquid, they get read like a book.
There was a small window where maybe Liquid could have gotten up catwalk, but there was 4 smokes down in mid, and as soon as Adren falls and he calls out numbers, you could just see everyone from Gambit at the A bomb site and connector. They're all just spamming into the smoke. Nades raining out into a tiny choke point. Nicely done from Gambit, and there goes Nitro. Opening pick over to Mo. One guy we saw in this Gambit, in the camera work for Gambit is Andy, former coach of Na'Vi, who came over very, very recently. Coach that earned a decent amount of respect pretty quickly during his tenure with Na'Vi, introducing some new ideas, although not finding any success.
Just have this standoff here between Hobbit and Steel.
Fitch now is going to join into the party.
Walks into the crosshair, Steel's able to find it. Hobbit now really wants to try and get this trade, and it's going to elude him. Steel just slips on out of there. So Liquid, they've been handed an equalizer here.
And at the moment, there's actually no one from Liquid really in any aggressive positioning across the map. Elige far back watching for a push. Steel and Twist just now making their way through T-spawn. JDM's going to join up with him. So the question becomes, what is Elige's role in all of this? We saw him the previous round trying to flank over to the B bomb site through window. This round he's lurking in underpass, but how aggressive does he want to be in this position? Hobbit is still in halls. Mo is in CT spawn. Both AWPs at the A bomb site. Again, a setup that can catch Liquid off guard. There goes Adren. Mo's going to be forced out by the Molotov, but they still have no idea where Hobbit is. JDM finds him. Maybe Hobbit's position just doesn't even matter. If he can't get checked into this, a double kill comes out for him. He can go for more. He's dropped down. JDM misses the shot. It's a triple for Hobbit. Down into a 1-on-1. Elige versus Hobbit. Flash bangs out. Tapping the bomb. Elige spamming through the smoke. That's going to force the CT away. He's got to reload now. But no one is on the defuse. Out into the open, and Hobbit gets it. What a heroic performance in this round from him. The right moment, and all 4 kills go his way.
I mean, Hobbit just bagging kills left and right there. That was unbelievable from him. 4 frags, 3 of those coming off the back of that position up in Palace. It goes unchecked, and the thing I love is, look at this movement right straight down through ladder. Knows exactly how he's going to play it. Bounces on off, and JDM can't catch a break. It is going to be 7-4. Hobbit is, I mean, he's got to be feeling great after that.
That's such a hard fight for JDM as well with the AWP. It's a very, very small target you have to hit, and you only have 1 chance at it. And you can see he misses, and he's just pretty much dead. That's a round that felt like Team Liquid firmly had it, and Hobbit steals it away. That's why he was the Esports Rookie of the Year, continuing his tear after exploding upon the scene at DreamHack Winter last year, where they beat Renegades in the finals.
I mean, for Liquid, somewhat running into a bit of a brick wall here. We've seen 6 rounds consecutively go the way of Gambit.
ever since Fitch stopped them with that CZ, they have not been feeling good. It was 4-1. It's now 7-4. So 6-0 run at the moment for Gambit side of things. They're just running it up. Plenty of money in the bank as well.
I mean, once again, it's this mid-aggression from Adren. So much confidence, but this time it comes back to punish them. Fitch might get caught out here as well, as Liege will double down. And now Liquid, best chance we've seen them have really at getting themselves around in a while. They've got a two-man advantage early on. They've taken control of middle, something they haven't been able to do. Now what do they do with all this control, with the firepower advantage?
Hit the pause button. You make Gambit sweat just a little bit. You know they're going to be overextended somewhere. Actually, this is a pretty cool call from Gambit, though. I mean, centralize the defense. They kind of break things up. Doja pushed up towards Catwalk. Hobbit was in connector. Mo was there for some time as well. And now that you have an AWP and CT spawn at Ticket Booth, you can kind of use Doja and Hobbit to be your guys who rotate wherever they want. But instead, they're going to get a stack towards the B bomb site. So this is a gamble that looks like it could pay off because Team Liquid is making their way up Catwalk. They want to split this B site. They haven't cleared out Doja completely just yet. He's going to have a quick flank. This is brilliance. Doja could make a huge play here. There goes Liege. All the while, no attention on Doja. He pounces. There's the kill on the AWP. Needs to get traded, but it's not happening just yet. Can't get a second kill.
30 seconds left. The bomb's down over here on short, and one flash up on Doja is the only bit of utility for anyone. Luckily enough, Twist was able to get himself the bomb. It will go down. Doja now finds himself against the clock. Steel holds the angle, wins the duel, and Liquid, they're going to be back into this one with a 5th round. They finally managed to break the curse and get around on the board. The only issue is that reset going to be looming over their heads here, and there's still plenty of money for Gambit to buy up.
Yeah, at least in this round, but it's going to start. It's dwindled massively. Fitch at 150, Adren at 100, and he's forced onto the shotgun. So last chance here for Gambit to keep the winning going, keep the money flowing into the banks. All based off that mid-control last round, but still got close. 5-on-3 into a 2-on-1. Gambit is doing a very good job in these mid-rounds of reading what's coming, of rotating players into the proper positions. They've stacked B at opportune moments a couple of times now.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a lot of respect to Doja for being able to do that, right? I mean, I remember when they made the switch, yeah. I wasn't really sure how that would work out at first, but I think it has seemed to greatly improve Gambit right now because he still puts up similar numbers and is able to lead the team very well.
Yeah, the CT side is a little bit more of like groupthink in terms of you really do, it's not about one in-game leader, it's really just about trusting the calls of your teammates of what's coming, of what the information they have and what it might mean. But still, this is a team that has been playing still very good with this switch of Doja into the in-game leader. Hobbit, this timing of this smoke could be deadly. He's going to drop the flash. Doesn't really blind anyone. They're waiting for the smoke to fade. He's gotten a kill from this position before. Here come the flashbangs, jumping through. Nitro pre-firing in the air. But again, there's 3 more players here from Gambit. And Liquid's got to be scratching their head. Why is everywhere we go stacked? Gambit is just a step ahead. JDM now in a 1-on-2.
He was able to deal with the AWP for Gambit. He's still got 2 more players left to find, and both of them over here on A. This is a perfect call to make. Going to be holding CT. Actually double-faced it back around. Doja still holding CT, could throw a spanner in the works as he hears this rotation. You can see immediately Adren starts to fall back over here towards A. But JDM just able to get the bomb down in the nick of time. Gambit hot on his heels. Adren's out through connector, and that'll be the frag going the way of Gambit. It's going to be an 8th round as once again they win out in the retake. And as you say, Liquid, they just cannot seem to catch a break, but they can catch a bullet as every site they've gone to has been stacked in these takes.
Yeah, they're getting read pretty intensely, and I'm not sure whose work that is of kind of knowing it, but this is craziness now, because a couple times there, well, I mean, the double kill doesn't help anything, does it? Even if they don't have it stacked. But yeah, I mean, if you're Liquid, you're gonna look back at this demo and just be like, I wonder what our tell was. I wonder what we did that Gambit figured out exactly where to be stacked. 15 and 11 for Liege. No one else on the Liquid side in double digits. Meanwhile, it's 11 kills on Doja, 10 on Fitch, and 15 on Hobbit.
Yeah, I mean, Adren is usually someone as well who can put up some fantastic numbers, and he hasn't really, done too much yet. Not even through lack of trying, right? I mean, it's just that he hasn't really had to when you look at it.
He was Mr. Consistent heading into the major and in Krakow as well. So either way, team's up 8-5. Don't necessarily need the contribution quite yet.
Liquid right now, they bought down to $2,000. Fielding what they can. It's going to be a couple of deagles, some smoke. 3 smokes, in fact, and a flash for Nitro. Going to be the set piece out towards A. Have enough to block the cross, stairs, and CT. I like the charge on through. Fitch is held back. He's going to try and force the agenda. Pushes on through the smoke. Will fall to Elysian. This is the opportunity to get that bomb down. They've got the man advantage. They're going to try rushing Adren down in CT, and they're going to come to quickly regret that decision. The Dren takes the first, has support now from Hobbit. Flash goes out. They're going to be able to take 2. Nitro does respond with 1, but it's not enough. As bodies keep going down. Twist left 1v3. It's not meant to be. And Gambit will be on to a 9th round.
Still dangerous for Gambit, and it's great that they rotated so many bodies through CT spawn, because you could see Liquid kept wanting to press the issue, take over those stairs, but Gambit denies them that control. They're not expecting this many players to be here. I feel like I've said that a lot in this game so far. Last round of the first half, Team Liquid down 5-9. They do have the op in JDM's hands. They do have 4 AK-47s as well. Double op setup for the Gambit side of things. Doja and Hobbit going over towards B. Mo with an op is going to be in connector, peering up towards top mid. He won't see anyone, at least immediately. Looks like Fitch might want to get aggressive. Steel has changed up how he wants to lurk over towards A. We've seen him frequently in Palace. This time he's going to be on A ramp.
I mean, you can even see how that mid-aggression from Gambit has kind of worked out in their favor. Liquid is so hesitant about pushing towards mid. They've used so much utility just to take control of the top and middle, and even then, they've still got Adren over in window to worry about. The cross as well from Hobbit, who currently resides over on short with the AWP, and they've already expended a fair bit of utility just to get this far. They're going to be throwing out smokes and flashes into middle. Window smoked off, but Hobbit still resides here at short, and they don't actually have a smoke to stick that way. Hobbit misses the opportunity for the opener. Gonna go ahead and smoke himself off from the immediate short presence. As I believe he can still keep an eye on connector. They're going to look to now boost on up, and this is where Adren really has to pull through. Able to take 1. Doja in the meantime going to dispatch of 1 more up in apartments. Gonna try their luck at the boost once again. Will Adren see this coming? No, he won't. Elige finds that frag. Still 35 seconds, 2 versus 3. Bomb down over in top mid. They have to move quickly here.
Yeah, I mean, they have to recover this, and they have to decide where to go, and they don't have a whole lot of time to do it. These ops have been eating them alive, and they're going to do even more work because there's no utility on the remaining 2 Liquid players. They have no smokes. They have no flashbangs. And they're second-guessing themselves. 15 seconds after this point, you have to go A. You just have to make it work. It is a 2-on-1 at this bomb site, but they have no idea where Mo is, and he's going to get aggressive. He wants to find the information, actually pulls out the deagle. Does he actually try and stop this? Yes, he does, and he's going to get it right at the end. That's the round immediately. Great job from Mo. Great job from Gambit. Going to end this half at 10-5. A brilliant CT side after losing the pistol. Liquid's lucky to have gotten that because they only won 2 rounds once the gun rounds began. They could never string anything else together. So that's a bit brutal for the American side with the new player in the lineup. We'll see if they can recover in the second half. Stay tuned. Hobbit gained an awards trophy as the Rookie of the Year in all of esports, and it looks like he's performing well enough to want to hoist that IEM Oakland trophy coming up here. 17-10, 121 ADR, and he had that magnificent 4-kill round that really bailed Gambit out of a tough spot.
Yeah, he's looked utterly fantastic. Doja then coming in, just behind him, 98 ADR, and being the IGL behind Gambit. I think that speaks volumes as we now head into the second half. Liquid kind of got the defuse kit up on Twist along with the smoke. CZ for Nitro. 3 players with armor and then the flash in there as well. And over on Gambit, Doja's the man stacking all that utility. Smoke, 2 flashes as looks like they want to go for a flashy play out here towards mid. 4 players stacked up with Doja holding ramp. Looks like it's going to be the A split.
Yeah, there go the smokes to block off jungle. They're going to head up now, but there is a stack. And that could actually hurt them. Pressure on a catwalk as well. That's Hobbit going to work his way up. And actually, it looks like they're going to go towards the B bomb site. Alicia's watching for this. Gambit is going to... Almost feels like they put themselves in a tough spot. They haven't really gained a whole lot of ground in all actuality. That damage helps. Forces Alicia back just a little bit, but they haven't found any kills. Although they do have, like, Moa's great position.
Yeah, Mo's going to be invaluable at cutting off these rotations. But really, they have to first deal and contend with the 3 players that reside inside of this B bomb site. That's the real issue. If they can't get that bomb into the site, then Mo is fairly useless. Alicia able to find one despite being tagged low now. Over here at bench, only 11 HP on the man. He's going to fall at the first hurdle. Twist and JDM left in a 2 versus 4, and Mo locking down the back line. Leaves all eyes on Twist. He's able to find the first. Wants to try and make it 2, but he doesn't have armor to play with. Has to be cautious here. As he starts to wrap on round, Fitch peeks on out, gets the information. They know exactly where he is. And all 3 players just locking down Sharpie. I mean, you've got to feel bad for him. Going to try and make his way in, but holding close to the right. And it's going to be Doja. There's no way for him into this round.
Yeah, he just saves the kit. Doesn't want anything to do with it. He realizes there's no entrance in. No one from Gambit is making a mistake. He's even going to get. He's even being hunted down. Cool pistol round from Gambit. I'm not sure if that was like the end goal or if because they just found no kills, they kind of called things off. It did look like that was going to be an A split from connector, from a window boost, and from A ramp. And just after finding nothing, they essentially, took the ground they gained over towards window, towards jungle, and they just went towards the B bomb site. So pretty cool overall. Alicia gets 1 kill at that bench. It's that kill onto Nitro which really seals it, because one interesting thing is if you were paying attention to the minimap, Alicia was gooshed down pretty low. He actually switches spots with Steel because that bench to catwalk is pretty much a headshot angle. So with his low HP, it doesn't really matter. And it actually kind of backfires once Nitro falls and they can get close enough to Alicia. He doesn't have the HP for any fights, so unfortunate. But Gambit now firm control of this match. 11-5.
Looks like they want to try playing, at least initially, over here towards B. 4 players stacked up, and they do leave Hobbit behind to see if any aggression comes out from Liquid. The aggression instead going to be found up here in apartments where Steel does reside. Up on top of the sofa or the couch. Feels weird calling it the latter.
The couch?
Yeah, not a fan.
You don't like couch?
No.
Sofa just seems so fancy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the
sofa sounds like an uncomfortable couch.
No, sofa's so much more warm and welcoming. And I tell you who isn't warm and welcoming. Steel, he finds 2 on the CZ. Going to swing out with a knife, but not meant to be. Hobbit does manage to pick it up, but still so much damage done. Twist, in the meantime, could wreak some more havoc here as Fitch. Back to him. Gonna rally some shots into the spine. That's enough to shut him down. Mo and Hobbit left 2 versus 4.
With no HP. Steel is a badass, man. That was sick. Pulling out the knife, going down swinging, literally. Even getting one jab in there. And yeah, you just have to save it now if you're Gambit. 10 seconds left on the clock. You have nowhere to go. You have no HP to get in any fights, and you have a Mac 10. So, Steel saves Team Liquid in this round. Beautiful performance from him. He's going to give him a lifeline. It's going to be 11-6. That worried me before. I started saying it before it changed. I wasn't sure. 11-6, still in the favor of Gambit, but that response from Team Liquid is quite nice. Now they can get some rifles out. They still have a scout on JDM. He's going to have armor behind it. MAC-10 on Twist. They're going to have some SMGs. And I imagine Gambit's going to buy right into this round, and they are. 3 Deagles, an AK-47, and the MAC-10. They have some utility built up on Mo. This would be a big kill if Fitch could find it, but over the distraction of the Molotov and the HE grenade, he can't see anything.
Legion Twist. Hold things close over here on A. Not going to be letting up with these SMGs. Have some support from JDM as well. He can rotate into jungle, but it's a Liege. Looks like he's going to be the man to find this initial fight out on A. Adren will fall at the B-bomb site as he goes hunting into Palace. He does manage to shut down one. It's a shooting gallery for Twist as he opens up with 2, and now Mo left 1v4. Finished off by JDM from CT with the scout, and Liquid, they managed to win that round out. That will be a 7th. They've reset the economy of Gambit, and this is their shot to start to close that gap and forge this comeback.
Yes, they've done a great job in that previous round of surviving with so many players. They've built up money. They have another chance here to do very, very well. Twist gets a couple kills with the SMG, which helps him build up some bank with the bonus money. It's Nitro's turn to be able to do that this time. Liquid, that 2nd round win off the back of Steel's hard work has propelled them into an opportunity to actually take the lead in this match. Well, that's a good trade from the Gambit side of things. Liege getting frag hungry, we'll say. Bloodthirsty. Ooh. And now Hobbit has an AK.
Yeah, that was swift as well, because Nitro is here actually keeping an eye on things. Hobbit's going to get boosted up to try and deal with him. Nitro goes walking into it, but it's the flank from Steel shuts this down, and once again, it's the latest addition on the aggression from B-Apps that could close this round out. It was getting a little bit worrying for them, but Steel onto a triple this time. Ammo not a problem this time round as he continues to batten down the hatches over here towards B. Adren going to go pushing on in, and he'll be facing the sweet embrace of death as Steel takes 4.
Yeah, what a great round from Steel. That's 2 huge rounds in the early stages of this half out of Steel. First, the 2nd round, and that one right there, the recovery, because if you give Hobbit some space and you give him the map to work with, he's going to find more than just that 1 kill. Great job from him, Gambit. I mean, that round limits some of the money that can be built up, which is quite nice, all things considered. There's still an AWP in JDM's hands. He's going to have that over towards the B-bomb site. Rifles everywhere else. Just a pretty standard round coming out of Gambit. Being conservative, not taking too many risks early on. Liege peeking for information in window. JDM's out in the open, so if he misses this shot, there's a chance for Gambit to be able to take him out. He'll have to drop down quickly.
Gambit, they're taking control of middle. Through the smoke, at Liege going to be put within inches of death. But JDM, crucially, wins that duel out over towards B. They've lost the presence in apartments. And foregone any chance of grabbing that early man advantage as Liquid sit 1 man up. But Hobbit overhearing Connector could make a difference as he's been allowed to sneak on by. Suspects where Twist is, judging by the trajectory from that flash.
Twist is going to play in this position a lot. It's one thing, his defense in this A-bomb site is not necessarily too much variety to it, but he still has impact. He likes to play inside the bomb site. He likes to play behind the caution boxes. And now working their way up slowly but surely, Gambit's trying to make an inroad into this bomb site, but it is Twist who just continually shuts him down. 3 kills for him. That's a 9th, and nothing gained by Gambit that round. Nothing at all.
And the burden of the economic reset going to be felt hard once again by Gambit as Liquid now poised to take this to a 10-11 scoreline as Gambit going to go for the almost deco. Mo kind of lets me down there with only the Glock out, but JDM holds down the fort over here in middle. Doja going to go ahead and decapitate a Liege, so they do lose a man. Liquid now a little bit weary. Don't want to risk overextending any further, giving any more man advantages the way of Gambit.
Yeah, you've got to be careful because this is where those Deagles can really shine. They found 1 pick that's going to thin the defense out. That's going to reduce the amount of trades you can get if you're Team Liquid on the CT side. So a lot of opportunities for those Deagles to just pile it on. JDM and Twist are going to be over at the A bomb site. Steel's flanking in the underpass at the moment. How far does he want to go? And there is a lean over towards A at the moment, so Liquid's set up as well as humanly possible.
Twist, as you said, from this position, going to be doing even more damage. In with 2, wants to make it 3, but Doja might just be the one that got away. Nope, Twist in with 3 frags, and that's Liquid 10-11. But the buy is able to come back in for Gambit. And this is their shot now to try and maintain this lead. Keep a bit of a buffer between them and Liquid. They're not going to be resetting the economy anytime soon, but...
Yeah, this is great for Team Liquid because everyone started to kind of come alive. We saw the stats at halftime. It was mostly just some work that Elige was putting in, but Twist is here now. He's had a couple of big rounds in these past few. Steel's obviously already had massive impact at that B bomb site with some of his pushes. And this time out is where Andy's got to help Doja out. We have to remember, Doja is, although one of the most experienced players in all of Counter-Strike that we have, very, very new to the role of an in-game leader. You know, Adren talked about it in a couple of interviews. You know, he's probably the most experienced player on the team, but just not in this kind of a role. So these are where the new in-game leaders kind of get bogged down. When nothing they're calling is working, when it can get frustrating, it is very much more the mental game of, like, you know, being able to persevere through the frustration more than just knowing the exactly right answer. That's what Andy's got to help him out with now.
Yeah, we're going to see the fruits of that tactical pause coming straight away, but already Liquid are going to try and mix things up, keep Gambit on their toes. They know they've taken that tactical pause to adjust to exactly what Liquid have been throwing out in these previous couple of rounds, and that's why they instantly come in with this change. They've stuck Twists up aggressive in towards Palace, and we're going to see some more aggression out through short now as they boost a man up. Believe that is going to be Nitro.
This is going to be dangerous, though, because even though they have Twist pushed up in the information, Elige is still sticking around the A bomb site, so they don't have anyone cheating over towards B, which is exactly where this hit is coming in. Frontline defense has got to be strong. Steel's giving up his position. He finds 1 kill. Nitro's now pushed up next. He's got to hit this shot. It's so tough, but he nails it. Flames at his feet. He's backing out, and he almost gets a second. Spray control doesn't work. Doja down to 5, but it's a 3-on-3. Or 3-on-1.
Blink of an eye, yeah. 1 versus 3. The bomb's down over behind bench, and Mo has to try and step up massively here. He's been allowed to make his way out into the middle of the site. Gonna try and retrieve that bomb. Elige locking it down from short with Twist and JDM residing in kitchen. 30 seconds left, time ticking away here. He's gonna try and go for any sort of fake to bait out these pushes. He has to think about doing it quickly or else time will become a real issue for him. And it's just gonna keep dwindling down. He's praying that Liquid makes some sort of mistake and they're not gonna overextend here. With only 15 seconds left, his hands are very much tied to try and make a play, and he's going to go ahead and get this bomb down. They know there's so little time left that this will be the real deal, so starting this push on in. Mo misses the shot at short. Elige finds it. 2 kills for him in that round, and Liquid, they are going to tie things up 11-11.
Smart from Team Liquid as well. I mean, you just sit back, you let him plant the bomb, you know exactly where it's going to be, and as soon as you hear those buttons being pressed on the bomb, everyone just kind of bum rushes him because you know you don't want to let him get out and get into a new position. The money is flowing for the Liquid side of things. The plant is going to help Gambit out with get a better buy. They have 5 AK-47s. They're not going to have an AWP into this round. Meanwhile, it's a switch into a double op setup for Team Liquid. We've seen this do some damage. Nitro has been surprisingly proficient with the AWP. He's going to be at the A bomb site. It's mid-control. Twist and Elige pushing up. That's a heavy power duo. There they are. They both fall, though. JDM does respond. I think they were kind of surprised at how fast and aggressive the mid-take was out of Gambit. Oh, God. That's awkward. He jumps right over and gets it.
Nitro's still inside the site, though. They've got no idea. Peeking into it, though. Doja's able to find that this round is messy. Steel 1v3. Now he might try and make some magic happen. As he reroutes down through CT spawn, you can see Gambit taking the defensive. Adren going to try and make that lengthy rotate, you'd imagine. Instead, just going to hold it passive.
Honestly, I know we've said a number of times the economy of Liquid is great. It wouldn't be a bad idea to just try and get an exit and just keep that gun. If you maybe just got 1 more kill. Because especially if they go back into the double op setup. It didn't have a lot of success that round, obviously, but if they decide to go back into it, that's going to be expensive, and that starts to eat away at this money very, very quickly. And Nitro's kind of considering it right now, hasn't bought anything. He's just going to go back to the M4. The setup that got them here.
Yeah, playing it safe as well with this buy. They do allow themselves to buy up into the next round without too many issues. JDM tries to go aggressive in middle, but he's going to pay the price for it. And now Elige tries to push through that Molotov to trade. He will be allowed to get it, and Twist going to inflict that much more damage, but it's a Dren flanking on round through ladder room. He's turned this into a 3-on-3, but crucially that bomb is dropped right out in the open on the cross, and Mo carrying most of the utility here. Only flashbangs, no smokes to nullify any of these angles. He's got his work cut out for him in towards CT. Will be kept away. You can see Adren toying with the idea of going for that bomb. All 3 players for Liquid right now in CT. Does mean the bomb can be retrieved. Doja going to get burnt out.
It's that AWP of Mo that's causing so many issues. It has Liquid pinned down, and they don't have the nades to really flash him off anymore. They threw a couple, but weren't able to capitalize. And now they just kind of give it up and they rotate around. They have to go for this. They do have a smoke on Steel. Both have kits as well. And it looks like a Dren. Does he actually want to go for the risk? Going to rotate all the way around through T-spawn. And because of this pace from Team Liquid, it's going to be plenty of time for him. They have a smoke for the bomb. Not using it quite yet. Twist is going to go check a little bit into connector. They've got to find this kill. It's huge. Steel's going to hop on it. Twist is trying to protect. He doesn't. And can he land it through the smoke? He does. A headshot right onto Steel, spamming the smoke. And that's a big round win for Gambit. That has not quite broken the economy of Liquid, but it's got him close.
Yeah, and this is really do or die right now for Liquid. If they win this, and they are propelled straight back into this, they do have a shot at keeping things close. But if they lose, it's going to go 14-11. They'll be forced onto an eco in the next. And that's where things get tricky and decisions have to be made whether or not they're going to try and look to win this out, perhaps play for overtime. Right now, Gambit looking like they've found a bit of a groove here in the T side. You've got Adren pushing in through lower tunnels. Fitch and Mo holding the top of mid. And you can see Liquid, they're fairly scared of this mid presence that has been fielded. They haven't sent anyone into it this time around. That is JDM to find the first on his aggression up through apartments.
That's a big opening kill and an important round from JDM. Twist and Elige are set up in a crossfire at the A bomb site. Nitro is mostly giving up window room, or entirely giving it up, just watching for someone to get boosted and flank through. 1 minute on the clock as Fitch and Adren pressure up connector. No one has an eye on this quite yet. Now Elige hears the footsteps, so does Twist. Spots one down, Elige needs to help him out. There is a player wrapping around, but he's got him. Twist lives for the moment. Flashbang into the air. Adren turns and tries to spin back, but this is great defense. The delays, but all the kills go Gambit's way. Twist has to do something, but he can't. Somehow Gambit has made this work.
Steel resides in CT. It's been turned into a 2-on-2. Doja going to try and get that bomb down. Mo holds the angle, but Steel peeks up. JDM from connector closes this round out, and Liquid, they are very much still in this one. Double AWP going to be carried forward, so they can now field that into the next round. And it's going to go 12-13. Gambit. When you look at their money, it's not looking fantastic here. I imagine we could see them maybe go for a bit of a partial buy in the players that can't afford it, but not really worth the risk of forcing too much up here.
Well, we saw this is just a tough call to make as a team. It is very difficult, especially at this stage in the game. We saw G2 against FaZe have to make that same kind of consideration down the stretch where you can have a couple players with the buy, but if you invest into this round, you are kind of forced into a weird force buy cycle at some point in the future if you can't win it. So this is such a difficult call to make. Because you can get an AK on a Dren and on Doja with full utility. It's the rest of them that are going to struggle to find, a powerful arsenal to bring forward. It'll be Deagles. And actually, they're going to go for it. Galil's going to be on Fitch. I imagine similar to Mo. He's going to be, I think he dropped an AK-47 over for Hobbit. We'll have to see. No, an AWP is dropped out. That's from a Dren, and I think a Dren will take the AK-47. And Hobbit's going to be on the CZ. So patchwork buy from the Gambit side of things. A lot rides on this. Not only the equalizer, obviously, at 13-13 if Liquid can win it, but the decimation of the Gambit economy moving forward.
Gambit, I mean, slowed down a good bit from the aggression we've seen in previous rounds. This time, no Adren in through lower tunnels. No push out into middle to boot. Mo instead suspects that Liquid might try their hand at some aggression. Starts to edge his way out. Liquid, no one holding middle, instead playing this very passively. Don't even have a man up on short. Instead, you've just got a Liege kind of holding the angle from window. Gambit look like they might just try a set piece here. They've got very limited utility, so they're going to have to hope there isn't much up on side this A bomb site for Liquid. There is still the Incendiary on JDM. That can keep them at bay.
It's kind of a tough call of what do you smoke off if you're Gambit? Do you leave? No, they're not going to. Okay, so JDM will be smoked off. Twist is up close, though. If Twist gets a good sequence, if he can get that first kill as they come up ramp pretty cleanly. Oh, he's going to push forward. He's out in the open now. This is going to be difficult. No pop flash, though. Mo's going to peek it. Almost picks him off. Twist needs to get into cover. He's under a lot of pressure. JDM is pushed out to triple. There's the opening kill. Twist now in a great position. JDM with another, and they still haven't forced anyone out. There's Twist pouncing, and Hobbit has made his way all the way to jungle, but he's found nothing. A gap in the smoke is going to seal it. 3 kills for JDM with the ult. Beautiful work from him in 13-13, and now the nightmare for Gambit begins. But God, is Twist lucky? Just a couple seconds, and he's down early.
Yeah, this round they don't really have much they can afford to do into it. As you say, they're in a bit of an awkward situation now as Liquid should be guaranteed to find a 14th here. At least you'd imagine so, but we've seen crazier things today. Smokes and Flash is going to start to pour into B, but Nitro takes down the point man. Adren has fallen, and Gambit on the back of it. They've slowed right down. They've kept the smoke and the flash up between Doja and Mo, so they can now start to go for this. They're going to go rushing on through. Steel, he's been very good at holding B. He's going to try and do it once again, but this time he's actually going to fall, and that could allow this bomb plant to come on in. Fitch is allowed to get it. No, he's not. Slam dunk from Nitro. Just in the nick of time. Means that Liquid, not only do they get themselves a 14th, they deny that bomb plant, and with it you can see it has affected the utility that Gambit have been able to field, and they can't actually afford to get the AWP up now either.
Yeah, and just in general, just light on a couple nades. It's not too bad. They have smokes on everyone so far, and I mean, just kind of a one more complimentary nade behind those smokes. Doja's got Molotov 2 flashes. And digging into the playbook now. This is dangerous. Look at the push from Ali. She fails that kill, but JDM's behind it. There comes a flash, and he's going to peek right back. That's a good kill from JDM. Stays alive. He's able to fall back as well. There is someone pressuring. Molotov out to buy himself space. 3 players here for Team Liquid. But enough utility has been spent to force Gambit back, at least for the moment. And all the meanwhile is costly for Gambit themselves because they only have 1 smoke left now.
Yeah, utility dwindling here for both sides. Still very much in favor of Liquid, though. Doja and Hobbit holding over here towards A. You've got Mo waiting for any aggression out through mid, and Adren doing the same in apartments. Throws out that one flash. That keeps Nitro's attention here on B, along with Steel, meaning there's only the 2 men over there on A. Mid completely open and right for the taking, but it's Steel to take this aggression. He's going to fall to Adren, and now that means they have to keep Nitro here. 40 seconds left. Going to be holding the angle with the AWP.
Gambit could either throw a mean fake or a mean split towards this A bomb site, but it's all on Twist. His aggressive stance. There come the nades over the top. Twist isn't going to peek with it. There's Hobbit coming up. He finds that kill. It's just the 2 ops remaining. Nitro trying to get to Catwalk. That could be huge, but a missed shot from JDM might just seal his fate. Nitro with 1 kill towards Connector. There's JDM peeking out. 1 more to get, but there's too many bodies. Bomb is down. Nitro's got that into a 1-on-1. Can he be the hero? He needs to peek out wide. He needs to do it quick. Adren, he's in cover. And now the bomb can get planted just in the nick of time.
With half a second to spare, the bomb has gone down. Nitro finds himself 1v1 versus Adren. Adren peeks out. Crosses into CT, and he finds the frag. Adren's able to do it. 1 versus 1. Completes the hat trick for himself in that round, and he keeps Gambit in this. 14-14. We're going to go all tied up here. It's going to be the full 30 rounds, Jason.
It's looking like it, isn't it? Actually, yeah, it has to go.
Yeah, it has to. I mean,
there you go. See? Still new, still teaching me things. Yeah, this is incredible. I can't believe that even Team Liquid was able to come back in that 2-on-4 with the Ops. JDM stuck out in the open, but the peaks from Dren, the timing of when he swings out is so awkward both times for Nitro. First, right when he switches over to that AK and jumps across. Second, Nitro thinks he's safe by the stairs, and it's just a really awkward timing he's not prepared for in the repeak from Dren. So great job from Dren to win that round, giving his team a chance here down the stretch. And the money is all gone for both teams, essentially. The winner of this round is going to have a huge advantage in that 30th round.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at the buy from Gambit, they might have won that previous round, but money wasn't great anyway, so it's going to be 2 Galils farmed up the SG actually out for Hobbit. Interesting decision there to pick that one up. Utility not exactly plentiful for either side here, so it's a very, very cash-strapped buy across the board, and as you say, huge advantage heading on into the last round in a regulation. I mean, what a time for this to happen. The gravity on this round, the actual impacts and implications that it has is massive. Hobbit sneaking in through lower tunnels. Smoke rains in towards window, and we've seen Gambit do this before. Netted them a frag a few rounds ago on a JDM as he played down in towards connector. This time, it yields no such fruit.
I'm wondering how long Liquid's going to keep up this setup of JDM and Steel in the B bomb site. Elige, this is so tough. The timing is everything. Fitch is going to come up the ladder, but he didn't clear it all the way. That's an easy one for Elige. I said it was timing. It works out in Elige's favor. He's going to dip out. No more fights need to be taken, and even Hobbit is dinked up now. Dire times for Gambit. Hobbit down to 14. His aggression is going to be neutralized. Steel and JDM still haven't moved from B.
Yeah, right now it's looking like they might not even need to. Hobbit falls in connector. 40 seconds left as Doja starts to slowly creep in towards apartments. You can see Mo peeks out from short. JDM spots the barrel. Doesn't quite get the shot off in time. 30 seconds left out in Gambit's hand. Going to be forced soon enough to make a play in towards this B bomb site as time is very much of the essence. They've got one flash on Doja and that is it. Dren is able to open things up. He's in the back line. He keeps JDM's attention away. Mo going to go ahead and help on out. And now JDM inside this site, effectively a 1v3. Does manage to find the first. Now fades away. He's taken the man advantage for Liquid. The bomb plant is going to be allowed to go down. Rotations coming on in. Already we've got twists over here in shop with JDM and the long flank round from Nitro. Spots out Mo. Doesn't quite land the shot. Does find some damage. Mo going to be in with a second frag. A monstrous one at that. And JDM's taking things close inside the site. Falls to Mo as he's on a triple. Make it 4 as Mo. He manages to do it for Gambit. They're going to go 15-14. A huge advantage now in terms of the economy heading into this last round in a regulation. And there is none left for Liquid.
What a round from Mo that he's able to get in that site. JDM was looking for him so frequently and just could never find it. Brilliance out of Gambit's side. That was a 3-on-5, I believe, actually. They got the first 2 kills on the Team Liquid side of things. And Steel, he was forced to make a decision if he wanted to peek, if he wanted to rotate, what he was going to do based on a Dren's kill on a Elige over towards the A bomb site. He peeks out and would have had a free kill if it wasn't for Mo on Catwalk. That was the big kill, because that's the one that opens up the B bomb site. You could see JDM, when he gets his initial frag, he falls back and waits for his team because he knows he's got Nitro on the big flank trying to make things work, and it just doesn't happen. That is crushing for Team Liquid. Yeah, the buy that they're bringing forward, don't hold your breath. It's not great. UMP on Elige, CZs on Steel, Nitro, and Twist, and a P250 on JDM. Remember, this was all looking so dire, once the pistol round is over in Gambit's favor. It was that second round win that really allowed Team Liquid to get back into this. Oh, the timing through the smoke. JDM is out.
What can you do if you're JDM there? Already man advantage up for Gambit. Not only was the firepower now the man advantage on their side, but apparently luck is as well. The timing was perfect. Liquid now with their backs against the wall. They fought so hard to pull it back to this scoreline. It was looking good for them. They threw away that 3-on-5 just rounds ago. Actually, just last round, in fact. And now, Gambit, man advantage. They've got so much more firepower. A full belt to utility almost across the board. And they're setting up over here towards A. Liquid They're in dire straits, and now's the time for some heroics to come out. Elige, he's been the man to bring us heroics, and he's the one, the first line of defense. Now here towards A, the smokes rain in, and Gambit haven't even started pushing through yet. Gonna wait and see if Liquid try their hand at aggression down through ramp in an act of desperation. Well, they start to root Adren round. He's gonna be there preemptively so that when that bomb goes down, he can wreak havoc. Also try to cut off any rotations, and will be spotted out by Nitro over in the top of mid.
They're going to get locked out of this A bomb site, though. They can't get in front of these smokes whatsoever. They have to take the risk. They have to just come through. Twist being boosted up the smoke. That's clever. That's going to yield a kill. Bomb is down as well. No one coming from mid for the Gambit side of things, so they've just got to force their way through, and a second kill on the boost. Can Liquid somehow bring this back? Adren is caught in the open. It's turned around. It's a 4-on-1, and Doja is stuck in balance. He can do nothing. Liquid, against all odds, force overtime, and you could see the laughter of relief.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of nervous laughter if you've ever seen it, right? It's like,
absolutely,
yeah,
yes.
We did it, but oh, it wasn't clean. They've been able to pull it through to overtime. The Tower of Twists, aka the Tower of Terror here for Gambit, as it just annihilated them on the push.
What a cool little tactic to bring out in a tough situation that nets you the round. That is insane. Liquid, they're back in it. 16,000 MR3 is the overtime rules. There will be no problems buying weaponry of any kind throughout these 3 rounds. Well, the Oppers, I guess, if they buy Ops 2 rounds in a row, might be a little tough on the 3rd one, but they'll still be able to have the weapons. Let's see how this goes. Liquid has already played 1 overtime today. They won it against Renegades 19-17. There's an opening kill from JDM. Elige forced out by fire. And all of Gambit is stopped by flames everywhere they go. Flash through the smoke. Fitch is going to jump in. He's making progress into the bomb site. No one's stopped him yet. They do know he's here. But how can they do anything about it?
Yeah, those Molotovs actually missed. Allow Twist to keep his position up here on the warhead. So doesn't manage to deny anything on the back of it. Adren will fall over here in jungle. 2-man advantage for Liquid as JDM. He's been pivotal thus far in this round. Gonna keep pushing in through jungle. Now has Elige there to support in connector. And they're just circling this A bomb site like vultures to a corpse. But Doja, well, he's gonna be bringing this round back from the dead as he's able to open up with 2, Fitch in with 1 more in sandwich, but it's a 1-on-1 JDM and Mo, and JDM wins it out. 4 frags for him as he wins the first round of this MR3 overtime for Liquid. They're gonna go 16-15.
I'll tell you what, Doja almost wins that round. Elige makes a small mistake. He throws his smoke towards Palace to block it off, but then he peeks before it pops. Doja's able to kill him and also keeps the lineup on top of stairs and just continues to tap right through the smoke to find a second kill. And JDM with a pistol whip is able to save it for his team. Double op setup still employed by Team Liquid. Same for Gambit, actually. And mid-control comes out. One's already jumped over, spotted out the aggression. Elige going to slow down. Fitch with a nade in his hand is caught, and so is Mo. Quickly into a 5-on-3, a 5-on-2 even. Hobbit's going to try and even things up, but he's almost done it. He's almost brought him right back. Steel gets away, though.
Adren, in the meantime, snuck out, but Steel's able to find it. Hobbit now 1 versus 3. Has to ace this.
That sequence from Hobbit coming out of underpass, that's dirty. Both of those kills, brilliant shots.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we were kind of discussing the idea of, you know, someone feeling it. He was down, you know, when you see him go for the 3rd, that's a man who is feeling it. Now 1 versus 3. Starting to sneak up short, but Steel holds the angle. Hobbit, so many angles to check, and Steel peeking on out. They're not looking at each other. Steel's going to get found as he waltzes out into mid. It's not clear, and Hobbit will take that all day long as now 1v2. No one from Liquid with a direct bearing on this man's position. He's going to go ahead and break vent. Nitro resides in apartments, and Hobbit, as he starts to decide which one of these sites he's going to try and make his way into, walks out into the arms of Nitro, the warm embrace of the AWP, and nets Liquid that 17th round.
Yeah, I mean, Hobbit there is just trying to break the vents, take some shots, trying to draw someone out into the open. Tough part is once Steel falls there, he's looking for information, obviously, and that kind of hurts in the sense that Hobbit can find a one-on-one fight at each bomb site. But if you're Liquid in that scenario, when Steel goes down, you essentially just play for yourself. There's no attempt to do teamwork, and you just play to kind of, you have to play a bit sneakier. You don't want to take a heads-up duel, and Nitro's able to just grab the angle with the AWP. Liquid on the verge of going 3-0 in overtime. Oh, they got a catwalk quick. Nitro's not ready for that one, but he does recover. Elijah's on a fast flank. Steel just has to buy time. Him and Twist have done just that. There's Elijah on the Mo coming up the top of the stairs, and Doja is lonely again. Gonna try and chase down Elijah. He's got to fight in the fire, and he does. He's down to 2, and he burns. 18-15, Liquid. All 3 rounds in this first half of overtime.
Yeah, and you can't help but feel like when you see a team do that, it is going to be awkward for Gambit heading into the second half of this overtime, but it's not impossible. We already saw them field a very, very good CT side. If you recall, that was, I'd say, their strongest side by far. They looked very, very good on it. So, what is the chance of seeing a second overtime here?
There's always a chance, isn't there? Isn't there? But, I mean, the tough part is if you're Gambit, you just don't have room to make a mistake of any kind.
Yeah, and Gambit, I mean, they are fans of making mistakes here and there. So
they've been bailed out a couple times by great individual effort. Yeah. They've played a pretty solid game overall, but I mean, if it's not for some rounds by Hobbit, Doja as well, they've had some brilliant performances in tough spots. This time from Doja, not ideal. Goes for the peek, expecting the fire to protect him in JDM. That's an easy pick, and now he has a great angle. He misses the shot as Mo crosses towards Market, but there's Nitro coming up. Catwalk Hobbit just had to pick a timing, and it fails him. Actually, JDM did leg Mo, so dire situation for Gambit here.
Yeah, Mo only with 3 HP. Rotations coming in from Gambit, but everyone over here in Chop does make things tricky. Adren falls trying to cross JDM. He's a merciless god as he watches this angle. Fitch and Mo left. 2 versus 4 and only 3 HP on the man with the AWP holding the angle. See, Fitch is hesitant to even try and cross. Does manage to deal with Steel in the back line, so closing the gap that a little bit more. Flash goes out. Mo gonna now look to try and peek into this. They know where both these players are. That Sindri misses its mark. And as they start to walk in, Fitch is actually able to go ahead and take 1. He's only got 4 bullets in JDM. He only needs 1. Mo left 1 versus 2. Time ticking away. Going for the no-scope, and somehow he's done it. 1 man left. It's JDM. And he's gonna manage to do it. Mo is unreal. They get themselves a 16th round. But let's not celebrate too early. They still need 2 more, but that was unreal from Mo. He unscopes. I think the timing's got the better of him. And then he somehow lands that impossible no-scope. Look at this. I am lost for words.
How's he done that? That's disgusting. Great shot. I don't know how Liquid managed to lose this one, but great job from Mo. Insane shots. A little bit of luck, obviously, and I just mentioned it. Gambit's been bailed out by some Herculean individual efforts. Another one comes out for Mo here. Incredible, incredible stuff. JDM has a phenomenal round. It goes to waste. This time, Twist over towards the B halls, applying just the smallest amount of pressure. It's going to be Steel and Elysian Palace and Halls over towards A. JDM and Nitro going to come up ramp. Twist is now rotating back to meet them. And remember, part of the first half, part of the reason why Gambit had such a good CT side was they had some great reads and were able to stack. Mo, though, again, he also thinks the Flames are going to protect him. Another 5-on-3 for Team Liquid. Surely they cannot recover from this one.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost Clutch King Mo. This time, it falls to the rest of the gang to try and step up. So many players holding CT, but the frag's almost going to be given to them here as Twist, luckily enough, trades, but he walks in the waiting arms of Hobbit. 2 versus 3, that man advantage has been squandered away. JDM takes the aggression out from Ram, shuts down Hobbit. Doja's left 1v3, and this time it is not meant to be. 19-16 in favor of Liquid as they manage to win that out in overtime.
Yeah, a couple grueling wins in overtime for Liquid in this event so far in this group stage, but this one, they certainly showed their quality there, feeling a little bit more comfortable. But they had to struggle through some big rounds from the Gambit players. And Team Liquid just able to hold on in the end. 2 overtime wins for them in Group B. We're going to head back to the GoDaddy recap for the postgame.
The GoDaddy post-match breakdown.
Thanks very much, gentlemen. My God, what a game. That certainly woke us up here at the panel, the Xfinity analyst desk. I got myself YNK and Sponge.
Woke us up? Were we asleep?
Well, I was kind of like, the day was getting...
You were getting a bit
The sun had
lethargic.
set, lethargy was setting in.
Yeah.
And then Gambit win a 5v3. Then they boost over a smoke with no weapons and get to take us into overtime.
The problem is, Alex, for us, it started seeing that Renegades were 8-0 up versus G2. So that's where the hype train started, and we never left that wild ride.
Boys.
But this was quite an entertaining game, I mean, to say the least, right? A lot of clutch situations, and for Gambit, it was actually a great feat to get into overtime, or to have that match point, rather, considering they lost both. I mean, they lost first pistol, second they won, but they lost the anti-force by a round. And Liquid went on a streak to win, I think, 6 or 7 consecutive rounds after that. So for Gambit, it was actually similar to the FaZe G2 game. Gambit won more gun rounds, so to speak, but because of how the pistol rounds and some of the other crucial rounds went, they didn't have a lot of free rounds, so to speak.
That could have very easily been Gambit's like 16-14.
It shouldn't have been, because if Liquid played the fundamental Counter-Strike, which we were praising the old lineup for, sure, Steel's just come in, there's going to be some teething issues. But when you lose a 3-on-2, a 4-on-2, a 5-on-3, and a 2-on-1, they're only the ones that really stood out. There were other situations they lost in
Can we
afterplants.
go through them again, just nice and slow? So
A 3-on-2.
They lost a 3-on-2.
A 4-on-2.
A 4-on-2.
A 5-on-3.
Good grief.
And a 2-on-1. And some of these were on the TNCT sides, and it was a lot of afterplant situations which just slipped away from them. I just questioned like what they were thinking in certain scenarios. It was mind-blowing the way that they were retaking one at a time. They were going and dying individually. On the T side, their crossfires, there were massive holes in it that were exploited. We saw at the end there, Mo winning that 2-on-1 with AWP. Should never be happening. Like, why are they facing when he's not defusing the bomb? Like, just fundamentally, fundamental Counter-Strike, that's not being followed, and it blows my mind.
Oh, I just have to take my headset off on one side. I can hear a happy birthday being sung.
He's
Twist.
18.
18 today. The dude is 18.
He's legal somewhere.
He's legal. Yeah, he certainly is, and he is going to be in a good mood. A nice little birthday gift from the guys to pick up an overtime win.
Yeah, they're happy, but if you looked at the camera there towards the end for Gambit, they looked deflated. Mentally checked out. They were looking pretty angry. They weren't looking like they're in a good way. Fitch with the old face palm going on.
Yeah, but when Hobbit,
yeah, it's cute.
Because but that was like nearly like he was going like ace ridiculous. Like he got 3 frags, nearly a 4th.
Yeah,
and then he just kind of cut to him and he kind of went.
Yeah,
oh,
just
shucks.
Like someone took his teddy bear away or something.
Oh man, but I mean, okay, jokes aside, he is nuts, right? Like everyone who watches him play, you've got Jordan saying it, you saying it, Chad saying it. Everyone is giving this guy. When you see him play, it's you kind of get a wake up call almost to how competent of a player he is.
He is definitely a very competent player, and Gambit are still a very competent team, right? If they only win 1 pistol round or have a good start, this game is over in regulation. You have to remember, last round of regulation, Gambit with a 5v4, they do a good job of using their utility and like executing fully on A. But that tower from Team Liquid next to stairs, where they just have the view over the gap in the smoke, and Twist gets a double kill with the CZ. And the problem is, like, you don't know where you're getting killed from. I mean, you know from which direction, but you don't know how it's happening. So that creates a little bit of panic with the other players as well. And this is like great from Gambit, great call. We have a man advantage. Let's group up. Let's treat it like a full gun round. Let's use our utility to get rid of the, pesky CZs or whatever. You can see that Liquid doesn't have anyone in the site even. Right. The site is pretty much open for Gambit to get in, but when the actual boost happens and they get 2 kills, and that also buys time for the rest of the team to rotate in, you can see that it was even a sort of a 2-wave execute to bait out Liquid, to force them maybe into a rotation or any remaining utility to be used. So a very good call from Gambit, but the small micromanagement of Liquid really made a difference.
I mean, right. So Chad, you can attest to this. You can kind of agree with what Yenko's saying. They did everything right in the scenario and with the read. This, however, was look at that gap. That
but
is
where is he going with the bomb?
Smokes.
This is I didn't realize this. Why doesn't he plant the bomb? Where's he going? First guy in.
They dotted their I's and crossed their T's with those Molotovs, right? To stop the pushes and all that kind of stuff. And Yenko's bang on. There's no need for him to go pushing into the bomb site to do an open plant. Well, he could have done an open plant and he would have been covered as well. You know, could have had the Palace player looking towards CT. Everything would have been fine. It just seems like the situation got the better of him, and running in like that was a suicidal move.
And you'll say, yeah, but it's still a 4v4. Yeah. Well, what does it change? Well, the problem is then someone needs to go and pick up the bomb. They die through the same gap. Then the smokes dissipate, and because you went for a 2-wave attack, you don't have any more utility to smoke things off. You're you are exposed to many more angles, and that makes it a lot more difficult for you to find those kills.
And from that side to the polar opposite, we have a very happy birthday boy who's standing out, or hanging out rather, with Stunner. Let's head over there and see how Mr. Van Dolken's feeling.
Not quite Mr. Van Dolken, but I guess that we can add a little twist. You want to show him a little twist? Not quite. Either way, congratulations. A huge victory there in terms of just bringing it back. There was a 10-5 half. Talk to me just from that point on.
Yeah, we had to do like 5 rounds on the T side is okay. I mean, it wasn't like the best half for us, but we did okay. We practiced like yesterday for like 2 or 3 maps, and our T side were going like much better than this one, but it was a good half.
So you are the man of the hour right now. The whole internet's buzzing about this. You find yourself over in Liquid. Talk to me just a little bit about the whole thing, because I mean, I feel like a lot of people were kind of caught off guard.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised too when Zeus invited me. And first thing, I want to thank Immortals a lot because they were great in this whole thing. And I am so happy to be playing for this team because they are like one of the best teams in the world. And it has been like such a great experience to play for an American team for me. I mean, I'm in love to play with them.
And then you land on your feet here. You guys obviously coming out, grabbing those 2 victories in overtime. So it's been not an easy day. And then tomorrow you guys are going to be facing up against Optic. That'll be your first match of the day. How do you feel going into that one?
I mean, Optic is a great team. They are playing so good lately, especially. But I think we have like a good chance of winning them. And it's so good like to start the first day like so good as we did, 2-0. And we're going to play with a lot of confidence tomorrow for sure.
You got to bring your A game. Well, congratulations again. We'll see you there. And that does it for here. We're going to give it back to the Xfinity Analyst Desk.
Thanks very much, guys. Yeah, no, so not twists, but I guess he must have just, ripped his shirt off in celebration of his birthday, given it to Steel.
I doubt they've had time to make a Steel jersey, mate.
What are you talking about?
24 hours where they got the printing press ready to go for those shirts all the time.
Just use the magic marker, on the back.
Just put some duct tape on it. Yeah.
It's always good to see those Steel interviews, right? He's always in such a good mood.
He is. He's a ray of light in the
reminds me of you, Chad, just when you started this job.
Yeah, I used to be in such a good mood all the time. But put on a brave face now.
What's interesting though is they are 2-0, but both wins were in overtime. So they only have 4 points instead of 6. Renegades, who lost to Liquid in overtime, have that loss and a win over G2, and they also have 4 points. So if it really can make a difference, the fact that it was only in overtime that you did get that win.
Yeah, so the standings don't actually tell the whole story. We can bring them up, though, but this will just be a little bit of a kind of the sweep across the surface, because bear in mind the way in which you acquire your win. If it's a complete clean regulation, then it will be the 3. If it is a win in overtime, it will just be 2. If it's a loss in overtime, it will be 1. And so this doesn't necessarily tell the whole story, but it's enough of you to kind of understand the win.
I mean, both FaZe and Liquid are 2-0, but FaZe has 6 points, Liquid has 4.
Yeah, exactly. And that will make a big difference when we start trying to find that top 3. But we are going to be taking a break because there is one more to go. We have a big one to look forward to. We're going to be ending the night with Renegade. The guys have already just caused a stir as they took a fantastic win versus G2, and they're going to be taking on FaZe Clan.
The history